The invisible habit that destroys your financial life. Daily sabotage. There's a reason your money disappears. It's not one big mistake. It's not a single bad decision. It's something you do every single day without noticing. A pattern so ingrained in your routine that you don't even recognize it as a problem. You think it's normal. You think everyone does it. And that's exactly why it destroys you. Most people believe financial failure comes from dramatic moments. Losing a job, a medical emergency, a bad investment. But those are just accelerators. The real damage happens quietly, in the small choices you make every day, the ones you don't think about, the ones that feel harmless. Those are the habits that keep you broke. And until you see them for what they are, you'll stay stuck. So what is this invisible habit? It's the automatic yes, the reflex to spend without questioning, the mental shortcut that says I can afford this when you haven't even checked. It's the decision, made in 2 seconds that costs you for 2 months. And it happens constantly. At the coffee shop, online, at the store, with friends, at home, everywhere. You spend before you think, and by the time you realize it, the damage is done. This isn't about being irresponsible. You're not reckless. You work hard, you pay your bills, you try to save. But somewhere between intention and action, something breaks. You mean to be careful, but when the moment comes, you don't act careful. You act automatic. And automatic spending is the enemy of financial stability. Here's how it works. Your brain is designed to save energy. It creates shortcuts for repetitive decisions. When you've done something 100 times, your brain stops analyzing it. It just does it. That's efficiency, that's survival. But when it comes to money, that efficiency kills you. Because your brain treats spending like a reflex. You see something. You want it. You buy it. No pause. No evaluation. No awareness. Just action. And the worst part? You justify it instantly. You tell yourself it's not a big deal, it's only $10, it's on sale. You worked hard today. You deserve it. Everyone else buys this. You'll save somewhere else. You'll start being careful tomorrow. These justifications feel true. They feel reasonable. But they're not reasons. They're excuses. And excuses don't build wealth. They drain it. Let's break down where this habit actually shows up. Because it's not just one area. It's everywhere. First, food. This is the biggest leak for most people. You don't plan meals. You don't prepare. You get hungry. You order. You buy. You eat out. You grab snacks. You waste groceries because you bought things you never cooked. Every single one of these moments feels small. A meal here, a coffee there. But added up over a month, over a year, it's thousands of dollars. Not because you're living large, just because you're living without thinking. Second, convenience. You pay for speed, for ease, for not having to deal with something. Delivery fees, service charges, premium options, expedited shipping. You don't need these things, but in the moment, they feel worth it. You're tired, you're busy, you don't want to wait, so you pay. And every time you do, you're choosing short-term comfort over long-term stability. That's the trade. And most people make it every single day without realizing. Third, entertainment. You subscribe to things. You buy access. You pay for content. Streaming services, apps, games, music, news. You don't use half of them, but they're there, charging you. Month after month, you signed up once, you forgot about it, and now it's just part of your life. Invisible, automatic, draining. Fourth, social spending. You go out. You say yes to invitations. You buy rounds. You split bills. You contribute to gifts. You participate. And participation costs money. You don't want to seem cheap. You don't want to be left out. So you spend, even when you can't afford it, even when you don't really want to. You spend to belong. And belonging is expensive. Fifth, emotional spending. This is the hardest one to admit. You shop when you're sad, when you're stressed, when you're bored, when you're angry, when you're celebrating, when you're avoiding something. Shopping becomes therapy. Buying becomes comfort. And every time you feel something uncomfortable, you spend to make it go away. It works for 5 minutes. Then the feeling comes back. But the money doesn't. Now, here's the pattern. None of these feel like mistakes in the moment. They feel justified, necessary, reasonable. That's the trap. Your brain is wired to make you feel good about decisions you've already made. It doesn't want you to feel regret. So it gives you reasons. It tells you stories. It makes you believe you're in control. But you're not. The habit is in control. And the habit doesn't care about your goals. It only cares about the next hit of satisfaction. So why don't people stop? Why do? They keep doing this even when they know it's hurting them. The first reason is awareness. Most people don't actually see the habit. They see individual moments. They don't see the pattern. They remember the big purchases. They forget the small ones. They think they're being careful because they didn't buy the expensive thing. But they bought 20 cheap things instead. And 20 cheap things add up faster than one expensive thing. But it doesn't feel that way. So they keep doing it. The second reason is identity. People tie their habits to who they are. They think I'm the type of person who gets coffee every morning. Or I'm the type of person who treats myself. Or I'm the type of person who's generous with friends. And once something becomes part of your identity, changing it feels like losing yourself. You're not just giving up coffee. You're giving up a piece of who you think you are. That's hard. That's uncomfortable. So people resist. They defend the habit. They protect it even when it's destroying them. The third reason is social pressure. If everyone around you spends the same way, it feels normal. It feels right. You look around and see people eating out, ordering delivery, buying things, going out. So you do the same. You don't question it. You don't evaluate it. You just follow. And when everyone's doing it, it doesn't feel like a problem. It feels like life. But just because everyone's making the same mistake doesn't mean it's not a mistake. It just means everyone's broke together. The fourth reason is immediate gratification. The benefit of spending happens now. The cost happens later. Your brain is terrible at weighing future consequences against present rewards. The coffee tastes good right now. The debt builds slowly over months. The purchase feels good today. The stress of being broke comes later. So you choose now, again and again, until later arrives. And then you're stuck. The fifth reason is lack of pain. The damage from one automatic purchase is invisible. It doesn't hurt. You don't feel poorer after buying lunch. You don't feel the impact of a subscription. You don't see your future crumbling because of small daily choices. The pain is delayed. It's cumulative. It's abstract. So it doesn't register. And without pain, there's no urgency to change. But here's the truth. Small habits repeated daily create your reality. If you spend automatically every single day, you will be broke every single month. It's not a mystery. It's math. And no amount of budgeting or goal setting will fix it if the underlying habit stays the same. You can plan all you want, but if you don't change the behavior, the plan is useless. So what do you actually do? First, you create friction. You make spending harder. You don't save your credit card information online. You delete shopping apps. You unsubscribe from promotional emails. You leave your card at home when you don't need it. You make yourself stop and think before every purchase. It sounds extreme, but extreme is what works, because the habit is strong, and breaking it requires more than willpower. It requires removing the easy path. Second, you institute a waiting period. Nothing gets bought in the moment. No exceptions. If you want something, write it down. Wait 24 hours. If you still want it and still think it's worth it, then consider it. Most of the time, the urge passes, the emotional need fades, and you realize you didn't actually want the thing. You just wanted the feeling, and feelings are free. Third, you track everything, every single purchase, even the small ones. Write it down, record it, look at it, not to judge yourself, not to feel guilty, just to see, because awareness breaks automaticity. Once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it. Once you know you spent $300 on food delivery last month, you can't pretend it's not happening. The numbers force clarity, and clarity forces change. Fourth, you replace the habit. You don't just stop, you substitute. If you shop when you're stressed, find something else to do when stress hits. Walk, call someone, write, clean, anything that interrupts the pattern. If you eat out because you're tired, plan easier meals. If you buy things when you're bored, find free entertainment. The goal isn't deprivation, it's redirection. You're not removing the need. You're meeting it differently. Fifth, you challenge every automatic yes. When you're about to buy something, pause. Ask yourself, do I need this? Will I still care about this tomorrow? Is this worth the trade? What am I giving up by spending this money? Most purchases fail this test. They only make sense in the moment. But the moment lies. The moment doesn't care about your future. The moment just wants satisfaction. And satisfaction is expensive. Sixth, you change your environment. If your friends always spend money, find friends who don't. If your routines involve spending, build new routines. If your commute takes you past temptation, change the route. Your environment shapes your behavior more than your willpower does. So shape the environment. Make it easier to do the right thing and harder to do the wrong thing. That's not weakness. That's strategy. Seventh, you redefine normal. Stop comparing yourself to people who spend. Start noticing people who don't. Stop following influencers who sell lifestyles. Start learning from people who build wealth quietly. Stop consuming content that makes you want things. Start consuming content that makes you think. Your definition of normal comes from what you see every day. So change what you see. Eighth, you make it visible. Put your financial goals somewhere you see them daily. Write down what you're working toward. Remind yourself why you're changing. Because in the moment of temptation, you forget. You forget the goal. You forget the why. You just see the thing you want. So make the goal louder than the want. Make the future more real than the present. That's how you override the automatic. Here's what happens when you break this habit. Nothing dramatic, no sudden windfall, no immediate transformation. Just slow, steady progress. You start noticing money staying in your account. You start feeling less stressed at the end of the month. You start seeing options where you used to see limits. It's not flashy. It's not exciting. But it's real. And real is what matters. Most people never break the automatic spending habit. They live their entire lives on autopilot. They work. They earn. They spend. They wonder why nothing changes. They blame circumstances. They blame the system. They blame bad luck. But it's not luck. It's the habit. And the habit is invisible until you choose to see it. You're not a victim of your finances. You're a product of your patterns. And patterns can change, but only if you make them change. Only if you stop pretending the small things don't matter. Only if you stop defending behaviors that hurt you. Only if you stop living automatically and start living intentionally. The invisible habit destroys your financial life not because it's powerful, but because it's invisible. The moment you see it, it loses power. The moment you name it, you can fight it. The moment you change it, everything changes, but it has to be you. Nobody's coming to fix this. No raise will solve it. No windfall will change it. Because the habit doesn't care how much you earn. It only cares how much you spend. And until you break it, you'll spend everything, no matter how much comes in. So here's the real question. How long are you going to let a habit you don't even notice control your entire financial future? Because every day you spend on autopilot is a day you lose. Every automatic purchase is a choice you're making without choosing. Every time you say yes without thinking, you're saying no to something bigger. You're trading your future for a moment. And moments don't last. But the consequences do. You can change this today, right now. Not by doing something big, just by doing something different. By pausing, by questioning, by choosing, by making one decision consciously instead of automatically. That's all it takes to start. One conscious choice, then another, until the new pattern replaces the old one, until intentional becomes automatic, until spending requires thought instead of thought requiring effort. That's the shift. That's the difference. That's what separates people who build wealth from people who stay stuck. Not income, not luck, not circumstances. Just awareness, just intention, just the refusal to live on autopilot. And it starts the next time you're about to buy something. That's the moment. That's the test. Do you pause? Do you think? Do you choose? Or do you just do what you always do? Because what you always do is what got you here. And if you want to be somewhere else, you have to do something else. It's that simple. And that hard, but possible, always possible.